friends, it's Christy. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to day 5 of my 2018 Valentine Card Series. Today I'm using the Heart Spots stamp set by Reverse Confetti, and I'll also be using the Authentique Love Struck 6x6 paper pad. Very pretty for Valentine's Day. So I've stamped my images on some Copic friendly cardstock with Memento Tuxedo Black ink because I'm going to be coloring with my Copic markers today. And I decided to color these cheetahs gray since there isn't any kind of orange or tan colors in the pattern paper, and I really wanted them to match. So I'm making them snow leopards, and I'm coloring them with C1, C3, and C5. I'm starting with the C5, and I'm doing my shading all around the outside edges of their face, and then kind of between the legs and under the chin. I'm blending that out with the C3, and then I will go in with the C1, and I saved the vast majority of his face for that lighter color because I really want it to be nice and highlighted. I'm going to color the second leopard exactly the same. I don't know if these are cheetahs or leopards. I'm going to call them leopards because, like I said, I'm coloring them gray like snow leopards. But anyway, I am actually making 4 cards today, and I'm just going to show the coloring for 2 of them because they're going to be pretty much the same. I'll have a few little differences so that each card will still be unique, but the concept will be the same for the 4 cards. And again, these cards are all going to the Cards from the Heart card drive that benefits St. Jude's Children's Hospital, and you still have a few days left to participate before you need to get those cards in the mail. They do need to be received by January 31st to winter, so I'll probably mail mine by next Thursday at the latest. I'm adding a little RV21 for their rosy cheeks and their ears. And then I will add in the RV23 and the RV25, and I'm going to use that to color in one of my birds. And I just think that when you're making kids cards, it's a great opportunity to use some fun and unexpected colors and just make things a little bit more playful. So that's what I'm doing on today's card. I felt like the RV23 got pushed back just a little too far, so I added a little bit more of that and then just blended out the edge with the RV21. And I'll also take the RV23 and color in one of the little pebbles next to the big rock. For the other bird, I'm using BG13, BG15, and BG18, and I'm coloring him exactly like the pink bird, just with the blue colors. So you're just using the darkest color towards the back and the tail, and then blending upward with the BG15 and then the BG13 toward the face. I'll use the BG13 for the pink bird's beak, and then I will also color in one of the little stones with that as well. Just for something a little more unexpected and different, I decided to color their noses red. So I'm using my favorite red combo, which is R29, R39, and R59. And again, this is just making things a little bit more playful, you know, just a little more surprising, and maybe make a kid smile, you know. And one of the stones as well, and the beak of the bird was also with the R29. For the large rock, I'm going to use some warm grays just to kind of differentiate it a little bit from the leopards, since they were with the cool grays. So I'm adding a bit of shading here and there to just kind of accent the different shapes that are within the rock, and I use the W5 for that. And then I'm coloring right over top of the edge of that with the W3 to soften that up and also add a little bit of dimension down at the bottom. And then I will continue with the W1, just also grabbing the edge of that W3, continuing to soften it so it's going to look a little bit more seamless. And once I'm happy with that, I'll finish the rest of the rock with the W00. Now there is quite a bit of difference between the W00 and the W1, so I have to work a little bit harder and really cover over those edges and soften that color up so that it blends nicely. but it's easy to do. You just have to not be afraid to use your markers. And I felt like it needed just a little bit more depth, so I just went back in with a second layer. Sometimes you just need 2 layers of the colors to get them to really blend nicely together. For the grass, I'm using G02, G03, and G05, and I'm just starting with the G05 and doing little flicks towards the base, and then I will blend up with the G03 and then finish with the G02 for the very tips. And now that the coloring is all done, I'm going to take a black Sakura Jelly Roll pen and just color over the eyes to make those a little bit darker so they don't get lost with the rest of the spots on their body. Just a little detail that makes a big difference. And there's a closer look at how those turned out. I think they look super cute. I've taken the largest heart that came with the Love Notes confetti cuts from Reverse Confetti, and I'm using a sentiment from the Lawn Fawn How You Bean Conversation Heart add-ons, and I'm going to stamp on the blue hearts with Lawn Fawn Peacock ink, and I'm just stamping it twice to get a really nice bold impression. And then I will take some plastic flamingo ink and use that to stamp on the pink hearts. And that's part of how I'm going to make each of these cards just a little bit different and unique. While I have my Misty out, I'm going to go ahead and stamp the inside, and I'm using Lawn Fawn Hippo ink to stamp one of the sentiments from the Heart Spot stamp set, as well as the little trio of hearts and one of the leopards. I'm actually stamping this guy on 2 of the cards and the sitting leopard on the other 2. So this frame is from the Love Notes confetti cuts, and I've trimmed that out of some pink and some blue cardstock. And I'm going to go ahead and build 2 of my focal panels on screen for you, just so you can see the differences, and then I'll do the other 2 off camera. So for both of them, I'm going to start with the large rock at the bottom, and I'm just gluing that down with some Tombow Mono Multi-Glue so that I can just adjust that a little bit before it dries. Then I'm going to place the standing leopard on one of the rocks, and since I'm using the pink background for this one, I'm going to add the little blue bird and set that so it's just standing on top of his head. I thought that looked really cute. And then I will also take one of the blue hearts and just add that on the left hand side. For the blue focal panel, I'm going to take the sitting leopard and add him on top of the rock. And since it's a blue background, I'll add the pink bird on top of his head. And then I will take one of the pink hearts and glue that on for my sentiment. So I was careful not to add glue to the edge of his face so that I'm able to just tuck that heart right underneath. For the other 2, I added the bird to the base of the rock and then just flipped which leopard was on which color. So now I'm going to choose my pattern papers, and I thought I'd go ahead and do that on screen for you guys today because I do get a lot of questions about mixing pattern papers. So now I'm just choosing colors that I think are going to go well together and being mindful of the prints as well. So I'm just flipping through until I find 3 patterns that I think are going to look nice together. So I end up with one that has the most colors, that's going to pull in all the colors from our images, one that is a smaller print, and then one that is kind of a neutral, and that would be the text. Also, there is the patterns on the reverse that I can use as well. I really love double-sided papers because you get more bang for your buck. So I'll just assemble one of these so that you can see the layers. I'm adding the largest print flat to the card base, and that is trimmed out to 4 inches by 5 1/4 so that there's a nice gray border all around the outside edge. And then I'm going to add this tiny heart print right down the center, and then I will add the little text print going right across the center. So I did 4 of these card bases with the same layout and the same text print going across the centers. I used different patterns but the same text on the center strip. And then I'm just going to decide which one of these I want to add to my card base. And I'm adding the glue only to the very center, so it's actually going to give it a little bit of dimension around the edges without adding the whole bulk of the foam tape. And that is actually going to complete our cards for today. I'm going to bring in the other 2 so you can see all 4 at once. I think they came out super cute, and as you can see they are each just a little bit different, so each kid will be getting a unique card. And I'll show you guys the insides. You can see that the sitting leopard is on the ones with the standing leopard on the front, and the standing leopard is on the ones with the sitting leopard on the front. So thank you guys so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done that already. I would love to have your support. If you need more information on the cards from the Heart Card Drive, please be sure to check the link in the description bar below. You still have a few days, like I said, to get those cards in. They do need to be received by January 31st at the very latest. Here's 2 extra videos from day 5 of the previous 2 years of Valentine Card Series, so hopefully those will keep you inspired until the next one. Until then, I hope you all have a great day. Bye-bye.